Why Thailand feels 20 years ahead of the West in some areas. Now, I know this title will annoy some people before they even hear the argument, because a lot of Westerners still automatically assume countries like Thailand are somehow behind them in every area of life. Then they actually spend time in Thailand and realize certain parts of it are way more advanced in day-to-day living than back home. Thailand has its own problems, we know that, but when it comes to convenience, flexibility, and just making life easier for ordinary people, Thailand quietly overtook parts of the West years ago, and most people don't even realize it until they live here. Now, I noticed this myself after spending more time back in the UK recently. Everything felt difficult, not difficult in a survival sense, just draining. Simple things somehow become long processes. You need appointments for everything. Half the country looks permanently stressed. Nobody has patience anymore, and customer service feels like psychological warfare. And despite everything costing a fortune now, the actual quality of life for many people feels like it's gone backwards. Then you come back to Thailand, and within the first 24 hours, you remember why so many people struggle to leave. You land at the airport, grab your phone, order a taxi, pay instantly, and get food delivered to your condo at midnight. Sit downstairs at a food stall eating something fresh that costs less than a coffee back home. And life just feels easier. And that's the thing that people struggle to explain to outsiders. Thailand often feels easier to live in, not richer, not cleaner, not more organized, just easier. And honestly, I think that matters more than people admit. Now, one thing Thailand absolutely nailed before a lot of Western countries was the QR payments. The first time people come to Thailand, they're shocked how even tiny market stalls have QR codes. You can buy a bottle of water from some little roadside shop in the middle of nowhere and still pay instantly with your phone. Meanwhile, in parts of the West, you still get shops acting offended if you don't carry exact change like it's 1997. And Britain especially has become weird lately with banking, cards not working, bank transfers delayed, apps freezing, random fraud alerts because you dared buy a sandwich in another postcode. Thailand just made payments simple. Scan, done, no drama. No 15 security checks before you bought noodles at 11 p.m. And food delivery here is another thing that feels way ahead. Back in the UK, ordering a takeaway sometimes feels financially irresponsible. You open the app and somehow a burger, fries and drink has become £27, and that is before delivery charges get added on. Then it arrives cold, looking like someone sat on it during transport. In Thailand, food delivery became part of everyday life because it's still accessible to normal everyday people. You can order proper meals cheaply. The drivers are absolutely everywhere. Small local businesses even benefit from it. And because the system works properly, people actually use it constantly. Same with convenience stores. Thailand understood years ago that people value convenience massively. That's why 7-Elevens are everywhere and always busy. You can literally walk downstairs at 2 a.m. and sort your entire life out. Food, drinks, toiletries, phone top-ups and even medicine. Toasties that somehow taste better at 3 a.m. than actual restaurant food. Now in the West, half the shops are closed early. Supermarkets want self-checkout workers to do the job of 5 people at once, and everyone looks emotionally exhausted. Now, another thing people notice in Thailand is the service culture. Now, before people start screaming in the comments, "I know who you are," obviously not every experience in Thailand is amazing, but generally speaking, people are still polite here. They still try to help you, and that alone feels refreshing. Back home, sometimes it feels like everybody is one minor inconvenience away from a breakdown. You ask a simple basic question in some places and staff look at you like you ruined their entire bloodline. And honestly, I don't even fully blame the workers. A lot of Western countries squeezed people financially so hard that everyone's stressed all the time. Now, don't get me wrong, Thailand still has problems financially too, but socially, it often feels lighter. People obviously smile more, and they joke more, and interactions feel less robotic, and that changes how daily life feels mentally. Even small things here feel more human. Street food culture is another massive one. Thailand still has real local life everywhere. People actually leave their homes. They even eat outside. Families sit together and there is movement everywhere. Meanwhile, in parts of the West, people live inside apps, work inside, eat inside, shop online, socialize online, then wonder why anxiety and loneliness are exploding. Thailand still has energy to it. That's hard to explain until you experience it properly. There's also less obsession with making life complicated. Thailand often has this attitude of, can we solve the problem quickly? And Western countries now often feel like, can we create 12 new systems around the problem and hold meetings about it for 6 months? That flexibility is a huge reason foreigners end up staying here longer than planned. Life blends more in Thailand. It's not as rigid. Sometimes that creates chaos, but sometimes it creates freedom too. And I think that's what a lot of foreigners are actually addicted to here. Not just beaches, the nightlife and the women, not just the freedom from the pressures. It's just that back home, many people feel trapped financially and mentally. Everything revolves around bills, stress, and surviving. In Thailand, some people finally feel like they can breathe again. Even simple things like being able to eat out regularly without destroying your finances improves quality of life massively. Meanwhile, back in Britain, a normal dinner out can feel like you've accidentally financed a small military operation. Thailand still gives ordinary people access to little pleasures without making them feel guilty for existing. But to keep this balanced, Thailand isn't paradise either. Some foreigners romanticize the place too much, and eventually reality catches everybody. You still need money, you still need purpose, and you still need discipline. And if somebody's life was a mess back home, usually they bring that same mess with them to Thailand too. And I've seen guys arrive here blaming the West for all their problems, then 6 months later, they're drinking too much, sleeping all day, and chasing emotional chaos around Bangkok. That's not Thailand's fault. That's just unresolved issues with better weather. But even with all Thailand's flaws, there are definitely parts of life here that feel far more modern and practical than what many Western countries currently offer, especially in everyday living. Thailand seems to understand something the West forgot somewhere along the way. Life is supposed to be lived, not endlessly processed. Thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care and ciao for now. Bye bye.